Hi boys and girls, today we are going to do arithmetic lesson 134 and we are going to look at introduction to geometry. Before we start doing that for today's lesson, we're going to go over our concept cards. So 1 bushel equals 4 pegs, 1 peg equals 8 quarts, 1 pint equals 16 fluid ounces, 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. 1 quart equals 2 pints. 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. 1 yard equals 36 inches. 1 yard equals 3 feet. 1 foot equals 12 inches. These are parallel lines, perpendicular lines, intersecting lines, an angle, a ray, a line, line segment, and a point. Now we're gonna move over. The first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna define some of the geometry pictures and shapes that you're gonna be seeing. So let's start with that. Okay, so let's look at this. What is geometry? Geometry means to measure the earth. And we have, as you can see on the board, we have all this different shape and signs. So we're gonna learn the meaning of each of them. So when we are working with them, we actually know what they mean. So let's start. A point. A point is represented by a dot. A line segment. A line segment is represented by a group of points having 2 endpoints. Line segments of the same length are congruent. A ray is represented by a group of points having 1 endpoint. A ray extends indefinitely in one direction. Intersecting lines. Intersecting lines are lines that cross each other at some point. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect. An angle. An angle is two rays that share a common endpoint. The common endpoint is called the vertex. Perpendicular lines are intersecting lines that form 4 right angles. A plane is represented by a smooth, flat surface that has no thickness and extends indefinitely in all directions. Now that we know what each of the figures that we see on the board mean, let's practice. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do the class practice number 1. So we wanna label each of the shapes that we see on number 1. And we're gonna do this together. So number 1, letter A, we see a picture of that's correct, it's a point. So A should be point. How about letter B? Let's look at letter B and we have what? We have a ray. Very good. For C, that's a what? Line segment. For letter D, we have a line. For letter E, we have parallel lines. For F, we have intersecting lines. For G, we have perpendicular lines. And for letter H, we have an angle. okay? Let's do number 2. Number 2 says write true or false in the blanks. So for letter A, we have a picture and it says that are parallel lines. Is that true or false? That's going to be false. For letter B, the vertex of, and you have the picture of an angle, is C. Is that true or false? That's going to be false. For letter C, we have a picture of a line and that it says are congruent line segments. Is that true or false? That's going to be false. Letter D, railroad tracks are an example of parallel lines, and that's going to be correct because parallel lines do not intersect, okay? They never meet, so that is correct. For letter E, intersecting lines can cross at only one point, and that is true. For letter F, geometry means to measure the universe, and that's going to be false. Geometry measures the earth, not the universe, but the earth, okay? You guys are going to finish up lesson 134. You're gonna do from 3 on, and that's all you are going to do for this introduction to geometry. For the next lesson, we're gonna see more information about it, but this is all for today for lesson 134. I hope that you guys have a good day.